back again. The Delco Pro Am Men's Basketball League Championship coming your way very shortly. Guys, when it comes down to it in the end, we can all talk about what we want, but it's going to come down to play on the floor. But what do you guys got going in? Who's going to win this game, and what's the score going to be?
For me, I've got Omega Medical in this game. I got them winning 80-70. I think that the guys on Omega, the big guys, Rob Kurtz, Kelvin Green, I think they're going to be able to bang home with the bodies of Jerai Grant and Guy-Marc Michel and Bina Zoko of Take Your Game to Another Level. But my MVP might be a little bit of an unknown, but John Griffin. I think he's a guy who's got a limitless range from beyond the arc, and I think if he gets it going, he's going to be tough to stop, and he's going to be my MVP tonight.
Tom?
I completely disagree with you. I think Omega Medical's going to lose. It's going to be a 1 point game.
Wow.
I think it's going to come down to the very last second, or the very last few seconds of the game. And I think it's going to be whoever takes that shot, or whoever hits that game winner, is going to be your MVP. So DeMonte Harper is going to be your MVP tonight. I think he's going to step up. He did it like you said. Louisville, the biggest stage for any college ball player, the NCAA tournament. He's going to say, Coach, give me the basketball, let me do it again. DeMonte Harper, MVP, is going to take you into another level.
Smiling like you don't necessarily agree with that statement.
All right, here's what I'm going to say to that, Tom. I'm going to agree with you that I think it's going to be a tight game. I've got it somewhere in the low 80s, high 70s. I like Omega Medical to win, and I'll tell you why. And it's who I think is going to receive the Jumbo Johnson Trophy tonight, and I'm going to say that's Rob Kurtz. I think he is going to go out there. The biggest guy on the floor for Take Your Game to Another Level, whether it's Bina Zoku or whether it is Guy-Marc Michel, neither of them can match up on Rob Kurtz because he will beat them off the dribble all night long, and he has got range that will drag them out from underneath the net and force them to Take Your Game to Another Level to put somebody else on the glass, and I don't think that's what they want to do. But I will say this. If it's going to be Take Your Game to Another Level tonight, Tom, I disagree with you yet again. I'm saying that the MVP for them is going to be Marty Collins, as it has been all year long. So, Tom, if things play out for you, I'm pretty sure that Marty Collins is going to be taking that shot, not DeMonte Harper.
Well, you think if it does come down to the end, Marty Collins does have a takeover ability to really take his game to another level. And,
we almost got an entire season without making that pun.
We punned it.
You really have to, though, with Marty Collins, because he's done it all year. He's done it all year to where they need a basket. He takes the ball and attacks or scores, gets fouled, whatever, and converts it to free throw line.
You got Collins, you got Harper, but then who do you have after Take Your Game to Another Level? Not to say that they're obviously great players, they're in the championship game, but you got Omega Medical. All 5 of those guys can contribute who are on the floor at any time.
And another thing, Simon, we're only talking about the guys who were here last night. If Dan Giroux's in the house tonight, and if Sean Singletary's in the house tonight, that's 2 more guys to just add into that stacked lineup for Omega Medical. If Dan Giroux's here, I'm calling this one to be maybe a double-digit win for Omega Medical. I think he makes that big of a difference.
But see, you said about Rob Kurtz being MVP. Rob Kurtz yesterday didn't really have a great game.
He didn't need to. He
won by 30 points.
But in the first half,
but we said he drew a lot of attention away from those other guys.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's not. He doesn't need to be a scorer on that team. He's more of stay outside, pull out a Guy-Marc Michel, pull out a Jerai Grant, to where if it does go Omega's way, I don't see him being the MVP because I see him more being as a decoy. Pull out the defense, pull out the bigs, give room for John Griffin
so if not
to shoot the outside shot.
If Omega pulls it out, if not Kurtz, so you
I really do like your pick of John Griffin. He's the guy who can get hot from the outside and just really he's taking games over already these playoffs where he just comes down and doesn't even look to run any offense. Just pulls up. More than likely, he hits the shot.
Yeah, he's really stepped in for in Sean Singletary's absence in the last 2 days, and wouldn't you know it, Sean Singletary gone for Omega Medical, but they're playing the best basketball of the year.
You can make the argument that they played more of a team game without that actual point guard there, without him there taking it in, cutting inside, and running the floors. He's so quick and is able to do it in a matter of seconds. But they've worked the ball around a lot more. It's been very effective for him. I think at least.
Yeah, I think that that Omega Medical is just going to be too much to handle. There's too many weapons on this Omega Medical team. They were one of the favorites going into the season. They snuck into the playoffs somehow at a 5-5 record, but they're peaking at the right time. They've had 2 blowout wins here in the first 2 games in the playoffs, so
yeah,
they're playing some great basketball.
The defensive ability that we were talking about that was lacking from them earlier this year. They should have said shut down Rodano, a team that scored 102 points in their first playoff matchup. Kept them to, I think, the final score was 89-59, and that was like 17 points in the second half, I think, from those guys. So the defense really was ramped up for them.
There's no way we're looking at a blowout tonight. I just don't see it happening.
It's not.
There's no way. Two very evenly matched teams. For me, I gotta go Omega personally, and I think that tonight's MVP is whoever Marty Collins isn't covering, and that's either Reggie Redding or Kelvin Green. I think Kelvin Green, if Mark Tyndale's forced to cover him, I think Kelvin Green can beat him off the dribble. That said, if Reggie Redding is being covered by Mark Tyndale, I think he can do the same thing, and also a better shooter than Kelvin Green. So really pick your poison with those two guys.
Well, I think somebody else. I think not necessarily the MVP you'll look at to give a trophy to, but could be the guy you just mentioned, Mark Tyndale, in the sense that if he doesn't lose his cool, they have more of a chance to win. He's the type of guy who's picked up 4, 5, 6 technicals already this season, and if he doesn't, lose his temper, they're a good cohesive unit. When he's going crazy, he's a very good ball player, and he focuses on playing basketball. The reason he's here.
That's a big if there, Tom, and that's why I got a problem with your take your game to another level prediction. I'm just saying, I see. I mean, we saw it last night. Even they almost threw that game away with a technical foul.
Yeah.
You can kind of get in their heads and force them to panic a little bit if you can put some pressure on them. You saw that at Under Armour Lee when they made that comeback. Take your game to another level. They had some turnovers, uncharacteristic. When you apply pressure on them, you never know.
Yeah, I haven't seen Omega in that situation yet this season, but we'll certainly see what comes of it here tonight. But to go back and stick my neck out there for Rob Kurtz, I've seen him put up over 25 several times so far this year, so I
always
won't be
nice
surprised to see it
for
all.
a guy who played for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I'm really going out on a limb with that prediction.
Rob Kurtz, 19 points in the first half of their first round matchup, so he's a guy who can come out there and score at will almost.
All right, you get point totals for the game.
Point totals, I've got a 10-point victory for Omega Medical, 80-70.
Between 1 and 3. So 1.
I've got Omega Medical by 4. It's going to come down to a missed jumper by take your game to another level at the end, maybe a couple of free throws to seal it.
I'm going to go Omega 79-72 with free throws being made down the stretch. So there you go again. We'll be right back after a short break. Coming up, the 2011 Delco Pro-Am Men's Basketball League Championship game, playing for this trophy right here, as well as the Jumbo Johnson MVP Award. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. A great game coming your way between Omega Medical and Take Your Game to another level. So stay around.